Hi guys, welcome to Gemma B Makes. I'm Gemma and this is my crafty podcast where I talk about all the things that I've been making over the past couple of weeks. This particular week I have got lots of spinning, lots of knitting and some dyeing as well. And I'm actually coming to you from a very quiet house. I cannot believe it. So as usual, my little boy James is asleep having a nap upstairs. But David has taken Edward to the park to go kick the football around, or yeah, I say kick the football around. Both of them are not very sporty at all, and they take the football with them and kick it a little bit and then they're just playing with sticks. Every time he comes back from the park, we've got a stick collection in the back garden. What's that about? No idea. It's like a dog. Anyway, so much better feelings this week than I was the last time I podcast. I was getting a bit down in the dumps. I think the lockdown was getting to me a little bit. But just the other night I went to go meet my friend, social distancing obviously. We stayed 2 meters apart, but we went and sat in the park with a bottle of wine like we were 14 again, and just caught up and had like a really good chat. We sat, it was really sunny the other day, and we sat for a good like 3 or 4 hours, and just had a good catch up, and it was such a mind cleanse to just go see my friends. Well, see my one friend, but it was really nice, and we've already planned to do it next week because it was lovely. And I thought we were gonna be the weirdos sat in the park with a bottle of wine, but actually there was quite a few people. We had to walk quite a way into a whole new park area to find somewhere that was spacious enough that I felt that we were being distant from everybody else. It was quite busy, but it was a scorcher of a day, and it was really nice just to go sit out in the evening, a picnic blanket and a bar of chocolate and a bottle of wine, and it was just lovely. And just from having that one little act of time by myself, and time with friends, it's just a nice cleansed. I feel much better. I also feel better because I did have a little bit of I don't want to say a meltdown, but I did have a little bit of a paddy. I cannot think about cooking anymore. I am not the best cook in the world, and I do all the cooking in the house. So we've gone from cooking evening meals, and then I'll use whatever's left over for mine and James's lunch the next day. So I've never really have to cook much of a lunch, but I do all the evening meals. And I said to David last week that we were swapping. He was going to do all of the cooking and the homeschooling of Edward, and I was going to do all the jobs around the house that haven't been able to do for such a long time, that actually now that we've got this time, it'd be nice to get through it all. So I've like emptied all the wardrobes and cleared all the clothes that don't fit anymore, and just cleaned everything, like all skating boards, and got behind things and moved things out. So we've just swapped jobs, but just because I can be by myself upstairs, and although I am doing things, I'm not just hiding, which is what I actually wanted to do. But being by myself, just that little bit of extra time, and I don't have to think about homeschooling. I don't have to think about what we're having for tea today and what's for the evening meal, and it just absolutely drives me insane. So to have a week off, I've had 5 days of no homeschooling and no cooking, and it's just been glorious. And then I got to see my friend and drink wine in the park. It's been really nice week. And now he's taken Edward out and gone to the park, and I can have quiet time in my own house. It's lovely. Anyway, yeah. Shall I start talking about what I've been making? That's a good idea. So I have been doing some knitting. I'm going to show you. I'm keeping my knitting in a very disgusting homemade bag that is filthy. There's a cup of tea here. Nice spillage down it, but this was one of the first project bags I ever made myself, and it's the one that I use most actually. I think it's just a nostalgia of my first one. So in this bag I am keeping the Tin Can Knits Flax Light Sweater, and this is in the size 1 to 2 years, and it is going to be a gift for my little nephew Milo. It's his first birthday in September, and I can't believe how big he's growing, and I feel like I've missed half of his life already, because yeah, well, we've literally missed months of his life, and I don't like it. The yarn that I'm using is my own hand-dyed yarn. I picked up some undyed merino from Yarndale last year, and dyed this little blue colour. It it is pooling slightly in a way that when you look at it, it does kind of stripe, but it's very, very thin, and you can't see it as much in real life as you can on camera. Although I can't see, I always say I can't see what's on camera. I face the camera the other way, so I can't actually see what's on the screen, because otherwise I would stare at myself filming and not look at you guys. I'd just be staring at myself, and it really, really puts me off. So I have to switch it the other way around, so I never know what it looks like on camera. It's always a surprise to me when I get to editing and go, oh yeah, that colour's totally wrong. But anyway, we just wing it. So, but I was showing this on a Zoom meeting the other day with my lovely spinners. We have a meeting on a Wednesday morning, and we all get together and chat, and I was just showing this, and it really, really looked stripy. It doesn't look that bad in real life. But yeah, it's a lovely little colour, and it's really, really soft. I've already knit this pattern for James, so I knit the size up. This is the next size down. I'm happy with how it's turning out. I'm nearly done. I picked up sleeve. I've got maybe an inch or so left to go on the sleeve before a little bit of ribbing, and then I can pick up the next sleeve, and I'm sure it'll be finished for next week. Although I will tell you in a minute, but I've got plans, so this might get put on a back burner. It doesn't need it till September, so it might get put on the back burner, because I have been so excited by everything that I've been knitting at the minute. It's nice to have a little bit of excited mojo back. One of the husbands of my spinner friend on the Zoom meeting must have been in the same room the other day, because I was getting very excited about all the yarn that I've been spinning, and I was showing it off. I could hear him in the background going, "You're all sad." You bunch of saddos. Oh, yep, that's me. Okay. The next knitting project that I've been working on, again, is in one of my own handmade bags. Again, a very, very early bag. It's one of my bigger ones. This is the Shawl hoodie cardigan by Susanna Sommer, and I've knit this in North Shire yarns. And I don't know if I can get it in a way that you can see how it's supposed to be. Oh. And I don't know if I can show you this properly. So it's knit as a shawl first. You knit a triangular shawl. Okay, and then I started some short rows on this side, and the short rows to the back, and then it kind of comes out, I don't know, it's such a magical thing. So I've got some sleeves capped off here, and another sleeve on this side. So I've split for sleeves, and I've started short rows. Anyway, I'll show you the yarn. These are really, really nice. This yarn is an alpaca, silk and cashmere. It's an absolutely beautiful luxury fibre. It's so soft. It's got an awesome, absolutely brilliant fuzzy halo on there. I've got 3 different colours here. The green colour is called something Lagoon. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It was the first ever yarn that I ever bought, and I can't remember the colour. It's got something Lagoon. The natural kind of grey colour there is Feathers, and then this blue is called Denim, and it's just so nice. I'm really, really enjoying knitting on this. It's such a different construction to anything that I've ever knit before. It's keeping everything interesting, and the yarn just makes it just absolutely stunning to work with. It's really, really nice. I started knitting this as a knit along with some of the girls that I've met through Instagram and through Gwen, who taught me how to brioche at Yarndale a couple of years ago. It's a lovely group, and they're all knitting some are some really bright colours, some are doing quite a muted palette like mine. It's really, really nice to see everybody's different colours and everybody's joining in at different times, so it's nice to join in with a knit along, especially one with that one day we will actually be able to meet up all wearing our hoodies. That'd be really nice. Have a drink. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you about it. I'm sure there is. I know I keep flinging it around. It's really hard to show on here how that's the centre back there, and it goes quite low down there. We've got some sleeves picked up, and that comes around the front, and then the short rows to make it, you can't see, the short rows to make it like that. I think that's the best I'm going to be able to get to show you. I'm sure that when I put a little bit more work into it, I'll be able to show you a little bit better on what it looks like. But I'm really, really happy and with how it's going, and I've had lots and lots of fun knitting it. I did get to, I've also, on the recommendation from the girls in the Instagram group, downloaded an app called Knit Companion. I'd never heard of it before, but it links to your Ravelry, and you can, and it's on your phone, so you can have your patterns there, and it got little bookmarks, so it can show you where you are in your pattern as you go to and from it. It's a really good little app. I'm really impressed with it actually, and I've started using it exclusively. So there's an option to highlight where you are within the pattern, and I don't know how I did it, but I moved the size. So I was knitting, I think I'm knitting the fourth size, so I'm knitting the fourth, and I'd moved my marker to the 6th, and I hadn't noticed until I'd done, I think my stitch count needed to be at 76, and I knit up to 90. So how many times is that? I think I'd knit 6 more times, so 12 more entire rows than I needed to. I was devastated. And we were watching a film. We've introduced Edward to start watching the Marvel films. He's still quite young. He's 7, is Edward. He's my eldest boy. And all his friends watched the Marvel movies, and I just think he's a little bit too young for them. We started introducing them slowly. So he's watched Iron Man, and we watched Iron Man the other night, and he really enjoyed it. He wasn't scared by anything, and he's quite a sensitive little soul. I thought he might not like it, but he did. He really liked it. Anyway, sorry, that was complete tangent. We were watching the film all together, and I counted all my stitches, and I had the perfect amount of stitches for the size that I needed. I'd written them all down, and that's when I started increasing. So I was really annoyed with myself that I'd actually spent the time and counted everything, actually had it right, and then still carried on. It's so frustrating. I wasted about 3 evenings worth of knitting. Anyway, it's okay. It's fine. I just pulled it all back and started on the short rows, and the short rows have actually been a little bit more fun for me. I've enjoyed doing those. But yeah, I was very frustrated at myself knitting for 3 evenings and then having to pull it all out. Devastating. But yeah, that is actually all the knitting that I've been doing. It's not. It's because I've been doing a test knit for my friend Emily, but it's a secret, and I will show you in September. But I have also knit myself a sock. But like I say, it's a test knit, and I can't show you it yet. But it's lovely. I'll just a little secret there. It's really, really nice. I'm impressed by her designs. I've been test knitting. I've test knit for Emily before. What did I show you? They were the Lotta socks, and they ended up in the 52 weeks of socks, the Lane magazine publication, the book that recently came out, the 52 weeks of sock, I think it's called. But Emily did a design for that, and she's doing some designs that are going to be coming out at the end of September, October time. So we've got quite a few test knits to do for her. So I'm looking forward to doing them. I've just done the socks. Well, I've done one sock, and there's more to come. But obviously I'm not going to be able to show you until it's all finished. But it'll be nice at the end of October. I'll be able to show you everything that I've been doing. But I have been doing lots and lots of spinning. I have loved spinning at the minute. Been very excited, and I'm sure you all know from the past couple of episodes I've been spinning to make myself a jumper. Now, I have all my yarn finished. I've been so excited. I knew I had to film this today because I finished spinning 2 or 3 days ago, and I've just been dying to cast it on, and I didn't want to until I'd showed you guys. So I have my 5 colours all ready. Let's see if I can flip this around. All these fibres all came from John Arbon. They are actually different bases. So this one is called Sandbar, and that is the Devonia base. I think it's part Zwarbles and part Wensleydale, blue-faced Wensleydale, I think. Oh, I can't remember. I'm really sorry. It's the Devonia. The Sandbar here is the Viola top, which I believe is Falkland. This one is Fern. That is in the Harvest Hues base. Harvest Hues range, sorry. This one here is Fern, and that's from the Harvest Hues range. This is Sycamore, and also from the Harvest Hues range. And this one is Aquarius, and that is Viola top as well. So they're all different bases. I think the Viola is Falkland, and oh, I can't remember. I'm so rubbish. I will put a link in the description below to John Arbon's website. You can have a little look through all their different fibres. They also sell the yarn that's been spun from the fibre. So if you like the look of the yarn, but you're not really into spinning, they have the yarn already spun from the fibre that they have. I enjoyed doing this so much. I spun them all on the Ashford Traditional. I did a traditional 2-ply, so I spun 2 bobbins of each and I plied them both together. It's just been so much fun, and now I have enough yarn to knit myself a jumper. So that's just all my planning has been. I'm going to, as soon as I have finished here, I'm going to be caking up all of this yarn and making a gauge swatch to see what kind of gauge that I can get, which kind of needles that I'm going to use, what kind of pattern I'm going to do. So the plan originally, when I was doing this, I wanted to do a striped jumper. So I just wanted to do the sandbar, then this one, like in order. I wanted to have stripes. And I still might do that, but I'm so indecisive now. I find the yarn now is too precious to waste it on something. I think what I'm going to do is get the correct gauge and just knit myself something that's going to fit. I think that's the plan. Is something that will fit me and my body type. So I've got the Strange Brew book by Tin Can Knits. I've knit the sweater before using hand-spun and fingering weight yarn. So I think I'm probably going to do myself another Strange Brew sweater. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do it full colour work or if I'm just going to put some stripes in. I recently did a slip stitch pattern for a pair of rainbow socks, and that was really, really effective on socks, and I'm not quite sure if it'd be as effective in a jumper, but I might give that a go as well. Oh, very indecisive. The plan is just to make myself something that fits. Yeah, I'm just getting very excited by all the yarn that I've made for myself, so I can knit myself a jumper out of it. It really does feel very soft. I think these two are the softest. This is the Devonia. This sandbar, this is Viola, and this is Devonia. This one feels the most sheepy, the most woolly wool. This one is the softest. Oh, that one's nice as well though. Probably shouldn't put this one against my neck. Oh, but I want that one at the top. Oh, so many decisions. Anyway, I can make those decisions off camera. Oh, guys, it's that time again throughout the podcast where my neighbours can come out and see me talking to myself yet again. Anyway, so yeah, all the plans with this hand-spun jumper. I'm really looking forward to casting it all on and finding out what kind of gauge I can get, doing a little bit of maths and working myself out a pattern. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. As well as doing the spinning for my jumper, I've also just been spinning for fun because because it's fun. So my lovely friend Mel of Mel Browne's Crafting Podcast sent me a lovely little mini bat. I showed it on the last episode if you want to go have a little look, but I spun that all up on my e-spinner. I've got an electric eel wheel nano, and it gave me a 30-gram little mini skein of hand-spun yarn. It's just lovely. Some really, really nice colours going through it all, and they're all my colours, all those greens and blues. Absolutely beautiful. It's really, really nice, and thank you so much, Mel, for sending me that. And because it was just out of the blue, just because she's lovely and nice. But I really enjoyed spinning that. It's not often I spin from bats. I think I've only done one or two bats before. So it was really nice to actually be able to pull it all apart and and see how it all turned out. It's lovely. Thank you. I also more spinning. I have managed to spin a whole braid of fibre that I picked up last week. I got this from Wheeldale Wool Crafts. They were selling at the online wool show that was supposed to be the Spring Into Wool. So the plan was for me and Mel to go to Spring Into Wool that was supposed to happen in April. And we never got to go. So I thought I would buy myself some fibre from the festival, from the online festival. And I've already spun it, and I think I've got to say this is probably one of my favourite finished yarns that I've ever spun myself. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Again, what I did was I took the braid and I split it straight down the middle, split into two, and I spun on my electric eel wheel nano. I spun two braids in order. So I started with the same end each time, and then I plied them together. And it kept quite a lot of the colour. There's quite a little bit of barber poling in there where it blends into each colour, and I think when it's knit up it's going to look beautiful. I'm really looking forward to what it's going to look like when it's done. I think I might have to make a scarf or a cowl or something that's going to show the colour progression. I'd say a hat, but I think there's more than a hat's worth here, and I want to be able to use it all in one go because I think it's going to look really, really nice all together. So I think probably a cowl. It is nice and soft. It is quite next to skin wearable. So I'm really happy with that. I've had lots of fun spinning. So I've actually used most of my fibre now, but it is the virtual Yorkshire Wool Festival happening on the 30th of May. I am really looking forward to that. I've been saving a little while. I am running out of stash, guys. So for those that have been with me a while will know that I have been using all my stash for about a year now. In fact, over a year. I bought for, I've bought wool and fibre at festivals, but I've not made any purchases in between. So I went to Yarndale and I went to Spring to Wool and the Leeds Wool Show. And they are the only shows that I've been to over the past 2 years that I've bought from, and I've just been using stash since then. And then lockdown happened and I've used my stash. So I've got a few little projects left, but I've got no big projects. So I've been spinning myself a jumper, and I've also dyed myself a jumper. So I picked up some undyed yarn at Yarndale last year, and I mentioned at the end of the last podcast that I'd picked up some gay wool dyes in the colour musk, and I really wanted it to be a beautiful navy colour. Now when it arrived in the packet it looked purple. I was a little disappointed, but a deep purple would have been absolutely fine. Now when I've dyed it up, it's gone the most perfect shade of navy that I actually wanted. So here is all the wool that I've been dyeing. Now I know for a fact this is not going to show up the colour that it is. It is a really deep navy, a beautiful deep blue. I'm really happy with it. Now I actually dyed it twice. So I dyed it the first time and was really happy with it. But 3 of the skeins came out with big white bands where I'd left the ties in and immersed it. Now to dye it, I dyed it in a really big pan, like a really big pan, and I slowly immersed them in just to try and get that little bit of variegation throughout the skein. I didn't want it to all be one colour. I wanted a little more of a tonal. But yeah, I'd left the ties on too tight and they'd gone white underneath and they'd not taken any of the dye and it looked a proper mess. So I put them all back in and I made sure the white bits got dyed again, but I speckled a little bit of them and just sprinkled a little bit extra of the dye over the top, and some parts of it have gone a really deep, almost black, and I'm really happy with the colour. It's not going to show up. I've tried to photograph these skeins and I've tried to film them to try and get like a screenshot of the colour that they are, and it's just not coming out what it is in real life. But I was really happy with how these turned out. Now these are going to be an everyday cardigan. I really would like a cardigan that I can just throw on as an everydayer. And something wearable. Navy will go with everything that I wear in my wardrobe. So now, again, I'm stuck with a pattern. I popped a post on Instagram and a few people replied and sent me messages about different everyday kind of patterns that they want. And there's some really interesting ones. I just need to pick one. So I recently picked up the Pip and Pin pattern, the Mimer. I'll pop a Mimer. And that looks really nice. And I think I'm probably going to do that cardigan. However, it is a honeycomb brioche, and like the whole back and fronts, I think it's just the sleeves that are not. So I think that's going to be a real time consuming project in a 4-ply yarn that's practically a brioche cardigan. I feel that that's going to be not time consuming, because I enjoy knitting, but I do want the product, and I would like it at least for winter and autumn time. And if I'm doing myself, I've got the whole shawl hoodie, and I've got a hand-spun jumper, and if I cast on a cardigan as well, I don't know, I just feel like I might, yeah, my neighbours are really staring at me right now, guys. That's not all I've put in. What was I talking about? Yeah, I just feel like too many projects in one go. It's not too many projects, because it's 3, but it's 3 full-sized adult jumpers and cardigans all in fingering weight for 4-ply yarn. That's quite a lot, but yeah, it's all fun, isn't it? It's all enjoyable. So much enjoyment out of all these crafts that I do. But that is everything that I've been doing this week. I've told you about my plans. I haven't been doing any sewing. I've not turned the sewing machine on at all. Might have to remedy that, or might have to just do some more spinning. Really enjoying the spinning at the minute. Now I'm a little bit, well, what can I spin for next? And I think I'm going to spin for a blanket. Oh guys, my neighbours are completely putting me off. I'm going to have to just shoot off for a little bit. They are literally staring right now. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really, really do enjoy doing these podcasts. If you've enjoyed it too, give us a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you like. I'm not into all that finding numbers. I don't follow the numbers. I just enjoy talking to everybody. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I am Gemma B Makes, and that's where I show most of my things. Somebody asked me again the other day about my Ravelry. I am on Ravelry. I am Gemma Beige on Ravelry. However, I don't put my projects up. I am really lazy. I use Ravelry to look for patterns and purchase patterns, but it's not often that I will participate in group chat or anything. I do check it a lot though, so if you do send me a message, I am there, and I will always answer. But yeah, like I say, it's really nice to catch up with you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Okie dokes. See you later. Bye.